Believe it or not, but all that fire-making training just might be having an impact on the environment. Global warming in real life has been a topic littered all across the news the past few years. Thousands of arguments for and against its existence have occurred. Well, this video about global warming is going to be a little bit different. Rather than explore it in our own world, we're going to find out, does it exist in RuneScape? Global warming is only ever really mentioned once in RuneScape, which is in the Perils of Ice Mountain quest. The quest was originally created back in 2008, but still mirrors the politics being argued about it today. Anyway, the quest begins when you talk to Lackey, the delivery dwarf, who is south of the Ice Mountain. He tells you he's lost a crate that he's delivering to a nearby power station. Once you find this crate, you have the option to look inside. If you choose to do so, you'll see a very large egg. A bit later after delivering this box, you then discover that Drokar, the manager of this power station, is using these eggs to hatch dragons. Upon hatching them, he then feeds them coal and uses their breath to power the station. Drokar then has you deliver a letter to a monk named Brother Otis at the monastery. You find out that Otis dislikes Drokar as Drokar stole the key to his chest, which has plans for an environmentally friendly power source. Drokar hides these plans and uses the more environmentally harmful power plant to make more money. Anyway, you then continue on to help another monk whose roses are dying. You find out this is a result of climate change in RuneScape, and the climate is getting warmer. Right after this, a dwarf named Professor Arbelknap drops in asking for directions to the Ice Mountain. The monk asks you to follow him, and upon doing so, you see he's trying to catch baby ice fiends. The professor tells you their climate is now becoming too warm, and the ice fiends are going to go extinct. An avalanche then occurs after you try to help him catch the ice fiends. This avalanche also knocks down the Oracle's tent nearby. After helping repair the tent, the Oracle gives you a prediction that rising temperatures are a huge threat to Gielinor. Anyway, in an attempt to keep this short, we'll skip to the end. Basically, the power plant is shut down and a dwarf named Nermorph replaces the power station with a windmill. This obviously makes Drokar, the manager of the power plant, very angry, although supposedly later on he does see the error of his ways. So anyway, what does this all even mean? Let's analyze this quest for a bit. Well, first off, it's pretty obvious that global warming does exist within the land of RuneScape. It's also pretty obvious that this is a parallel to the real-life controversy about global warming. The wiki actually even has a full analysis on what each important character represents. Drokar, the power plant manager, is intended to represent politicians who are bought by the industry. This basically means the industry leaders will pay off politicians to look the other way. The Ice Fiends are supposed to represent the environment. Their home is being harmed, and they are being damaged by the actions of the dwarfs in charge of the power plant. Professor Arbelknap also represents an environmental activist. Lastly, Brother Otis is supposed to represent someone who comes up with the ideas for more friendly power sources, but is suppressed by others who would lose profit. Anyway, other than this quest, not much else is ever mentioned about global warming, if at all. It's usually pretty rare to see Jagex take a political stance on something like this. They even appear to used to have a page on the website dedicated to the environment, but it's either been removed or moved somewhere else. Luckily, I was able to find this backup of the page. What's strange is they typically seem to stay pretty neutral when it comes to things like this for pretty obvious reasons. Chances are they never did anything else related to this topic besides a few posts back from the hedges, as there seemed to be a decent amount of backlash from players when it was launched. They could have very easily used the new Beneath Cursed Tides quest to revisit this topic, but decided on a different route. For those that don't know, in this quest you explore Tutorial Island, which is now covered in water. Anyway, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you agree with Jagex taking a political stance, or do you prefer it when they stay neutral?